What's going on, everyone? It's the usual X Miller here, 45 Lampkin Lane, episode number 4. Today we're going to shoot the shit, and I got my guest here with me. You can introduce yourself.
Hello from Canada, it's Jeff here.
I'm going to call you Canadian Jeff.
Okay, I like that.
See, I was talking about this with Matt, and he was like, he didn't like the Firefighter Higgins thing, and I'm like, motherfucker, you don't get to pick your own nickname. It gets picked for you. When I first got X, I hated it, you know?
Well, I could be known as Headless Asylum Jeff, but that's a little too wordy.
Yeah, whatever's cool. I was just kind of dicking around anyway, so. How's it going?
That's what I go by on Twitter anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. How's it going anyway?
It's going good, yeah. Christmas in, 2 weeks or something like that? I'm starting to freak out a bit.
Yeah, Christmas. We just got our first bit of snow today, and it was like shit. I
got the winter tires on my car finally on Friday, so I'm ready for it.
Yeah, you get the tires out and shit.
We don't get a lot of snow here on the West Coast, though, so it's not too bad. Normally it's just rain and fog.
Yeah, so, what about the summer? Is it like any normal summer, or is it cold and shit?
No, it's warm. It seems like every year we're beating records for heat. People we sell out of fans for about 3 weeks out of the year, in August or something. But July and August are usually pretty hot, but not as hot as in the prairie provinces and stuff.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I'm like, I feel so stupid. I'm like, is everyone listening to this and being like, is this kid clueless? It's Canada, dude. You know what I mean?
There are different areas of Canada too. We're not all lumped in the same group, and the weather's different depending on where you live.
That's true. So, how was your week?
Just busy working. I'm working extra shifts at my second job. I'm doing overnight shifts for the next 3 nights, but it's good because it's Christmas time, right? I could use the extra money. Yeah,
I hear you. I haven't done much planning for Christmas, unfortunately, this year, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not like broke, but it's like, when you're broke, people are like, yeah, you didn't get me a gift, but it's cool. I for some reason understand. It's like, yeah, I'm broke as shit.
Yeah, that's why I kind of limit my friends so I don't have to buy as many gifts.
Yeah, Friday.
I don't have a lot to buy, and my kids are teenagers, so they prefer money, but they're hard to shop for.
Yeah, that's like Ice Cube in Friday After Next. He's like, you ditch him in the winter, that way you ain't got to buy him shit. I'm like, oh, like he's just being a wise ass to some girl, and she's like, oh my god, and he's like, no, I'm just kidding. So, are you ready for something?
Don't get in a relationship before Christmas, right?
Oh, dude, I got in a relationship at the worst time. I love my girl, obviously, she's the shit, but I got in a relationship, so on New Year's, right? This is basically when we got together. So you got Christmas, New Year's. Her birthday's in November, so I screwed myself. You got November, Christmas, New Year's, and your anniversary, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you get hit many times.
But she's cool though, man. She don't demand. I don't know. She doesn't she cares and shit, but she doesn't if you don't come up with a gift, she's not gonna beat you over it,
No, that's good. Well, there's never really a good time or a bad time to get into a relationship, right? You have Valentine's Day, you have the holidays, you have birthdays.
Yeah, it seems like you can't really jump in. I mean, unless you jump in there at the beginning of summer, but then if you're a young kid, your summer's tarnished.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Either way.
I guess for us friggin' 70-year-olds, it's a little different, but...
Oh, if you're 70 years old, you just take it wherever you get it, whatever, right?
Yeah, you take a lot of things. Take Viagra if you're 70.
Yeah. Hey, I'm 47. I take it wherever I can get it, too.
That's funny. So, dude, I went to Dunkin' Donuts the other day. This is just a random story, whatever. And I'm waiting in line, and this lady comes out of the bathroom, and she goes, "Holy crap, the line got really big. God, I shouldn't have, I shouldn't have went to the bathroom at that time. I went at the wrong time, lost my spot." I was like, damn. I was like, well, if you want, you can go, whatever. Like, she's like, whatever. She didn't care. But she was bitching about the line. So, I talked to mostly anybody. So I only was talking back to start conversation, and I said, yeah, there's 3 people working. It's nuts, and there's a line like this. And then she looks at me cockeyed and goes, tries to talk to me about patience, and she tells me that it's a virtue and I should carry it with myself.
Oh my God, two-faced or what?
I was like, are you serious? So I was surprised, and it's like, she was like annoyed with me too. It was weird. So, and she kept doing this like wise words thing. At one point, she even said like, how many more sayings can I mention to you? And it's like, I don't know. I hope you fucking stop soon though, because it's pretty annoying. And because I need fucking all your life lessons so bad. Like I'm a really nice laid back kid, and I made a joke and I said, I have to use up all my patience at work. I didn't tell her I was on the fire department, but I'm like, I got to use up all my patience at work, so when I'm out in public, I don't have much of it. I was kidding, and like,
yeah, yeah.
she was like, oh, you shouldn't carry yourself that way and things like that. Like, oh my goodness, come on. And
Like a teachable moment for her or something.
so you ready? So she goes, we get to the front of the line, and she looks at me and she goes with like a joking face, like nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Hey, so you still gonna let me go? I said, nah, patience is a virtue. You should carry it with you.
Bam! Oh, yeah, hey? Good for you, Alan.
Well, I walked away and I was like, you're an asshole. Then my like devil was like, no, she was being mean. Don't fucking, but.
Oh, that was a great ending there.
And
You have that opportunity, right?
yeah, I always have weird punchlines of the stories and they're real, so it's weird. But I always have issues there. I went there last week with some gangster guy. I love the culture of that shit, and I love like black comedy and gangster movies and shit. So I'm not hating, but he was definitely of the caliber. And
Word.
yeah, word, right? And he was like, all right, my dude, you got to swipe with the card, right? And I'm like, that's weird in my head because all the our new cards have the chip. So I go to swipe and he rolls his eyes and he goes, yo, chip, bro. And I was like, you didn't say that. I was wondering myself. And I'm like, yo, he's in Dunkin' Donuts. He's going to be professional. He's not going to like talk back to that. Like, I wasn't really being mean. I just said, you didn't say that. And he goes, yeah, dude, I did say that. And I was like, really? No, you didn't. Like, now I'm like, okay, you didn't say that.
Oh my God.
We went back and forth like kids for like 2 minutes. And it was
That
like,
would never happen in Canada.
yeah. And then,
First of all, you would be at Tim Hortons and you'd both be apologizing to each other for 5 minutes.
yeah, like remember when you were telling me you guys are bumping into each other in the lines? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, no Black Fridays here.
Oh my goodness. There's a lot of rude people around here. Here's another quick one real fast. The other night, so my car has been like held hostage in Boston for a long time. What happened was, and this got nothing to do with the kid that tried to help me. I'm not trying to get him in trouble and shit. So like, he tried to help me. He worked out at Meineke and he was like, I got your back. I know you're having issues with your car. Bring that shit in. We'll take care of you. Now, that didn't mean like he was going to do free shit or whatever, but he was like, we'll take care of you. Bring it in. So I bring the car in. He works on it a little bit. The fucking shop explodes. Like, engulfed. Caught on fire.
Oh my God.
So he goes, I got good and bad news. I'm like, okay.
Sorry.
I'm like, I'm sure the good news is fucking bad news as well. You know what I mean? And so he goes, your car's all right. It's in the lot. But the shop is destroyed. It caught on fire. They're pulling an investigation, so you won't be able to get your car till the investigation's over.
Oh my God.
And here's the issue with that. I have like lights and sirens in my car, so it's like an emergency vehicle by the state of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
They told me if I want to get it back, I have to drive there, which makes sense. I'm not saying this is a hassle. It just sucks for me. I have to drive there, go to the gate where they have it locked up because they locked it up on the kid that was even trying to help me. And I have to call the police from there
Oh, wow.
to get my car back.
So then they escort you and all that stuff to get your vehicle? Is that how it works?
No, well, you can't have you can't hold somebody's property hostage, especially if it's emergency. So I'm assuming, but it's not as simple as that either. So I'm assuming they'll just come there and be like, hey, come open the fucking gate. Let's, or else he's going to take you to civil court. You don't want that. You could end up losing more than, than you should have. So it's basically they'll come out and probably prep talk the guy,
Yeah.
and hopefully, I mean, if he gets hostile and wants to be whatever, they'll obviously arrest his ass. They don't fuck around. I mean, it's Boston PD, so they got better shit to do, man. So, but anyways, so this is why I brought that up, is because I've been having to walk everywhere. I don't like to rely on my girl's car. I like to walk a little bit. I like to mingle with people. I like to talk to people. So I went to the store. This is on people being rude. I went to the store, grabbed my shit. I'm walking back, and whatever, dude. I wear not thug clothes, but my clothes are a little baggier than the average working man. I tell people I'm on the fire department, their jaws drop. But you know what? I like to be comfortable. It's my art clothes, whatever. So I'm sure when people see me on the street, maybe they're a little. But usually when I open my mouth, they're like, "Oh shit, you're cool, whatever." So this guy though.
So you don't just wear like pants and suspenders, like the fireman's calendars.
Yeah. I mean, only to fires. But we usually have to wear shirts under. But dude, so I'm walking this cute ass dog. This guy in a business suit. It looked like he might have just got home from work and he wasn't trying to have anybody's shit. Like he's like, dude, I'm just trying to walk my dog, whatever. But I wasn't like stopping for big conversation. So whatever. The dog came up to me. And I was like, "Oh my god, you got a cute dog. What's his name?" It's like I think it was a black lab. I started petting him, puppy, puppy. And the guy yanked him away like ridiculously hard, and the dog went Roo! And I was like, "Hey man," I was like, "It's all good." I was like, I was like, "Be easy, dude." This guy looked at me and he shaked his head and went Pff, like, "You're a fucking whatever." And I was like, I can't believe some people, like, how rude,
Yeah, it's hard to tell what kind of day he had, but still, I mean, that's like, yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Right, and you know what? I'm different than most people, and I try to understand that. Sometimes it's hard, because if I have a shitty ass day, it's very hard to. If I see random people out in the street, it's very hard for me to, it's very hard for me to be a dick. I just talk normally. I mean, I was even in the store yesterday, and there's this guy who got me a bike when I was little. I used to be like, have not a lot of money, and the fire department got me a bike. I've been obsessed with the fire department forever. And one of the guys got me a bike. I seen him in Honey Farms the other day. I let this old lady go in front of me, and he's like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize it was you." And he goes, "Look at you, still doing good things." He's like, "You've always been a good kid, this and that." And so it's good to be recognized by some people. And that guy's the man. He got me like a bike, and they got us a Christmas tree and shit when we were pretty low. Our house caught on fire in Natick when I was like 2. And so
wow.
I remember the fire. I remember them putting my mom in the ambulance, and all I remember is the old school ladder truck rolling up and them putting my mom in the ambulance. And I've always wanted to be on the fire department since then, so it's kind of a cool story. But are you ready for this? I promise you this isn't bullshit. You have to do me a favor when I tell you this, and you have to believe me when I tell you this.
Do I have to, like, promise or something that I'll believe you?
You gotta promise, sir. You know what? Because at first, when you fucking didn't call, like, right away, I thought you got fucking, like, eaten by a Canadian bear. So that's Tisk Tisk 1 tonight, alright? So... No, but are you ready for this, bro? Check this out. So check this out. The firefighters, when a fire's over, they dig for hot spots just to make sure everything's done. So they basically tear your ceiling apart. Well, they were tearing the ceiling apart, bro. In case, I don't know if it was a jar or box, $75,000 untouched.
Whoa. I hear these stories, like, every once in a while, but this is for real?
Yo, yeah. See, but you can't fucking ask that. I told you gotta believe me when I tell. Yeah, but yeah, I'm for real, dude.
I believe that stuff happens, but it never happens to anyone that, that I'm connected with or know.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, man.
You kind of read these stories, right?
I'm not just kidding about the fire, but I'm just kidding about, obviously, busting your balls. Yeah, $75,000 in the attic. And, we had a landlord, so there was a big, weird controversy. So for anyone listening, we did not get a cent of that, obviously. They were like, hey, first of all, if you have 75 grand up there, we want to fucking know about it. Second of all, you have 75 grand up there. We want to fucking know about it. And
Oh,
my mom's sitting there being like, dude, I don't have any fucking money. We live in a ranch with a landlord. You think if I fucking knew there was $75,000 up there, that there'd be $75,000 up there?
yeah, and then we'd be living here maybe, right?
Yeah,
Like
with 75, and this was 1989 or 90, so come on, you know?
yeah. Wow, dude, I did not know that. You never told me this.
Yeah, well, one of the reasons I wanted to do the podcast because I want to tell people things like that. My friends that I don't want to type all that out on Facebook. You'd be like, that's crazy. But in your mind, I feel like you'd want to have a conversation about it that you might not really be able to have on Facebook through text.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, so I got a lot of good. Dude, my stories are just like ridiculous and I gotta get them out. I don't fucking like writing, so I'm not writing a book, but this is, and they're certainly topic themed podcasts, Michael Myers, Halloween, whatever. But it's like I love just shooting the shit with you and talking about random shit like that.
But I must say, Alex, you are very good at typing out, like when we're chatting. You're very expressive too in your writing and, and describing situations and how you break it down. But last week was fantastic too, with how you kind of broke it down around just bodily functions and stuff like that, though too. It was very entertaining.
What happened with the punches?
Pardon?
I didn't know what I didn't hear the last thing you said.
Well, you tell really great stories, but also you're very expressive in how you type out stories, right? Because we've chatted for hours and
Yeah.
hours over the years, and how stories unfold and details that you focus on. It's like you're a very good storyteller.
Thank
And I
you.
mean that in a way of telling a story, not telling fiction. You know what I mean? But
Excuse me.
telling about an experience that happened to you.
Right.
It's very entertaining, and I think it's like a gift. Really, not everyone can do that.
Well, geez, I got the stupid, silly red cheeks. I don't know how to like take comments. All I can do is say thank you, really appreciate it. It's like, I don't know. I guess I'm not used to getting too many.
Well,
of them, so.
yesterday we were chatting, and you almost killed me. I was at work, and you're telling me a story, and it's unfolding, and the words you used, and the images that came to mind. Like I was literally, I was almost dying, dude.
You know what? I want to tell it so bad, but I don't.
I know.
Oh man, I think.
Now's not the time, but I think maybe there'll be the right time for that story. But it's an amazing story. So funny.
Oh man, I'm thinking about it right now, dude. Oh man, all right.
Maybe save that for a future podcast.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if I blow up, or not blow up, that's so stupid. I hate when people say that. But like, because I just do this for fun, and I can't wait for 2 weeks because I'm not doing what's happening in 2 weeks for the notoriety. I'm doing it because I love this guy. But yeah, I forget what I was gonna say. But
are you talking about a future podcast?
what'd you say? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Are you talking about a future podcast, kind of future plans here?
Yeah, in 2 weeks we're gonna do something special. I mean, I can't really announce it now, but I was gonna say but if I get bigger, like if I get noticed, and I didn't mean to, through doing this, rather I should say, and it's like comes to a point where it's like, no, you can't like offend people, but you can say what you want because people will know me by then, and they'll know who I really am. So. If this is the first episode you listen to, that's obviously going to be a very horrible story.
No, but you have something kind of planned that is going to be pretty awesome because what I can say though is you set up something. Has it been 2 years now, or maybe 3 years ago? And it really took off with a certain person that you were talking to, right? Like
Yeah.
through Facebook, through the posts, with
Exactly.
question and answers and stuff.
Yeah, I've became.
So on the podcast, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention who it is, but I've became close with a lot of not like celebrities, but that guy's a celebrity, obviously. But so yes, in 2 weeks that'll be the first celebrity on the show, actually. But
And he's a real gentleman too. He's amazing.
oh yeah, and I actually got to interview Tyler Main in 2009 through MySpace. I said, hey, do you got time for 4 questions? He said, yeah, go for it. Like, immediately. I was like, holy shit, all right. I didn't even have questions ready. I just,
Nice.
yeah, I wung it. You know what I mean? Strapped a fucking rocket on the ship, and I just lit it. I went to town. I was like, okay. But, I just, this is episode 4, and we don't get thousands of listeners, and that's fine. I'm not, like, harboring for that. So I like doing what I'm doing now. It's funny because we do these on a Saturday. It is Sunday now, and by like Thursday, I'm like, dude, I want to get on the mic so bad right now and just like talk about what just friggin' happened. Because, like Jeff, I lived the craziest life on accident, is how I like to put it.
Oh my God, there's always something with you, Alan. I can say that. Like, I've known you for, I don't know, 5 years maybe or something like that, and there's always something going.
And sorry to the listeners, man. Like I said, my phone just does a weird dial tone at some point, like someone's listening or something,
I haven't heard that, like the beep or whatever. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, well, Mikey said he doesn't hear it anyways. And quick shout out to Mikey Aspinwall. He's going through something very personal right now, and I hope he's, doing okay. So shout out to him.
Hi, Mikey. We love you.
I don't know. Maybe I could text him, and if you wanted to 3-way call him, I don't know. But, we'll figure it out as we move along here.
We need to figure out the technology. Oh, I can add a call. But then you would have to, like, you'd have to message me his number, and I could try. But, like, would he be expecting a call right now, though?
Yeah, I don't know
right
if he might.
One on the West Coast, so 3 more hours, right?
Yeah, he's in a certain facility I don't want to mention because it might tip people off to what he's like going through, his business or whatever. But he's in a building where I don't know if he's still there, so maybe we'll hold off. We'll give him some time next week. We'll because I did talk to him yesterday, and he said whenever you want to talk on the podcast, that's cool. But I'm not gonna like just bombard him at 9:50 at night, especially if he's had a lot on his mind through the day. It's the end of the day, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my iPhone, and there's a button that I can add a call, so we could do like a 3-way call, I guess. We could always test it out ahead of time first, and see if that works.
Yeah, we'll give him a rest, and
yeah,
I'll see how that goes. But okay, so, dude, do I want to talk about that right now, or do I want to go over the Halloween stuff first? Oh my God, I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. That was dude. You posted the funniest shit, and I started having a fucking in-depth conversation with my girlfriend about it, and it pissed me off because I couldn't find anybody to have a serious conversation with me about this. Let's just go into it. Dude.
Okay, what are you talking about?
You messaged me about, you were like, bro, look how weird this is, look how funny this is, whatever the fuck, whatever reason. Look at these sex dolls. The realistic ones.
Did I send that to you? Because it's been going around, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, I found out from you. It was either there or we posted in our horror group that we have there. I know you...
Oh, was this morning?
Yeah, you posted in that horror group, you know what I mean?
Okay, no, what it was I think it was like some penis enlargement ad or something that was in my feed, and I'm like... No,
dude,
what?
It was the dolls. It was the dolls. It was the dolls, the sex dolls, and she, like, talks and stuff.
Oh, I think somebody else in the group posted that a couple days ago.
And you just commented on it or something. Dude, that was weird, and he's, like, telling it how it customizes to all the accents and stuff like that. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, dude, that's ideal for lonely men. It's like, it isn't going to cheat on you. You fold the thing up when you're done and throw that shit back in the suitcase, put it in the closet. Bada boom.
Yeah. I've never been that lonely in my life, so I can't really quite understand it, but I guess...
This is why I wanted to have a serious conversation about it. Think about it. There are some guys out there that probably... I'm positive that some suicides are due to guys that can't get a girl. And if you can create your own girl... Remember that movie where the guy creates a girl on the internet?
Are you talking about, like, Weird Science from the 80s?
No, there's a movie... I don't know if it was fucking Tom Hanks, and it's not like that email movie either, but... There's a movie, popular actors in it, and he creates this ideal woman online, and it becomes like a robot, and he's like in a relationship with the computer. And I can't remember...
Okay, that sounds vaguely familiar, yes.
I
know you're
think
talking about that.
I think at the end of it, he like finds a real girl or something, and he has to break up with the computer, and it's like oddly emotional. Like it's weird, but
Oh my god, yeah, yeah.
you know it's weird because the computer's like, "Oh, you're leaving me." It's like, "Bitch, your wires." But anyways, I thought that was I just couldn't believe it because like what they're and so when I watched that movie, I was like, "Yeah, like that's gonna happen." So not only did they do that, but it's an actual person,
Yeah,
and
it's pretty. Yeah.
the creepy thing is, man, like I'm just thinking iRobot, like, and what if they just become like things like that are just around robots, like, and then so like, is it illegal to like hit one? Like, what if you run one over and don't report it to the police? Is that illegal? You killed somebody's robot. Like,
Yeah. Are we
that's
talking about self-awareness? Because I love talking about that stuff. Don't get me started in terms of the nature of consciousness and stuff. Man, dude, I could go for hours on that.
I'm just wondering how far they would have to take that, like, but how long have we been at for time? I feel like it hasn't been that long at all. We are at
How long have you
27
been talking?
minutes. We're only
We're
at
at
27.
27 minutes.
All right, so you got anything you want to add about the sex dolls? I had to have a real conversation with someone about that because I think honestly it could help a lot of guys that like kill themselves because they don't have girls. Maybe there's some dude that I don't know cheats. Depending how realistic they make it. If you're out there cheating on your wife, well, if she has a vibrator, hey, you have a fucking giant one. So
Well, yeah, I think it's also a cultural thing because in Japan it's kind of seen as more acceptable. You know, like you have collectors that collect these life-size dolls. They have rooms, a room full of these dolls, and they dress them up and pose for pictures and stuff. So it's kind of like a cultural thing with them. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. But if you go further into like artificial intelligence, that gets really weird.
yeah,
That gets really interesting for me, in terms of the emotional attachment somebody could have. And if there is a possibility that we could have create something that does eventually become self-aware, we're talking about like neural networks and stuff. There's a lot of research and a lot of crazy stuff in that area too.
yeah. I mean, you had iRobot. They were. I feel like that's what they would do. Is they had like, they were cooking for old people, cleaning for old people. That's like, what I think robots would be doing. So.
But then something suddenly kind of like clicks where self-preservation and those sort of things start kind of formulating. And when it comes to like artificial intelligence, you can't even predict what is learned. And it could be as simple as something like a check writing software that it recognizes handwriting and stuff like that. But they give it thousands of examples, and they can't predict what particular features they're going to pick out in the loops and swirls in handwriting.
Yeah.
But eventually they get better and better, and there's learning that happens that isn't even predictable, that you can't program. That's the stuff I'm talking about that like just blows my mind.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of crazy shit lately, like space travel, and they want to do all this and that. I don't know. That stuff boggles my mind because I'm not like crazy into science because it's too much. I don't know. It's just too crazy for me to understand sometimes.
Well, even in terms of quantum computing, that stuff just blows my mind. Stuff we can't even wrap our heads around, right?
That reminds me of
the binary stuff. Yeah.
What were you saying?
Well, it's so different from the binary stuff we have in terms of computing. Quantum computing is like an entirely different animal. It's just unbelievable what they're doing with that. And different things like the observer effect. If you look up that kind of stuff, you look up the double slit experiment and stuff like that. That things are actually affected if there's somebody observing it or not. It's like very bizarre.
Do you think there's like life on other planets, like far away?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? And I don't. And you're not like. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theorists, all that shit. But if somebody believes that there's life far away, that's not really too far fetched. Because I mean, we're on a planet, so why couldn't someone else? Like, why couldn't it be somewhere else?
When you crunch the numbers, it's mind blowing. In terms of they say that there's so many galaxies, so many stars each star could actually have like a solar system possibly, and they estimate how many planets that are in the Goldilocks, what do they call it, the Goldilocks. If they're at the proper distance from a sun, that
Yeah.
they're habitable, for life and stuff. But we have like life forms that can exist in like really acidic environments and stuff. It's crazy.
So,
Yeah.
did you see recently that they think? Well, this is kind of preposterous, but they think that NASA or whoever is hiding a giant asteroid that they're trying to figure out how to deflect. And they were saying years ago, 2013 or something, they bought a bunch of caskets and body bags in this one city. FEMA did, and
Oh, really?
and then everyone was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" They're like, "Hey, we're just buying extra supplies." But then researchers and shit discovered that that was actually the location that the asteroid was predicted to hit. So they were buying coffins and all that shit, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute! If you think it's gonna hit here, is that why you're buying all those?" And
It's pretty crazy what they can predict, in terms of that.
but
I'm even amazed how they can predict like freaking eclipses and stuff,
yeah,
solar and lunar eclipses and that within the minute or second. It amazes me.
the guy though in that video did say they're close to figuring out how to either deflect it or blow it up, so we wouldn't get fucked up like nearly as bad.
Well, there have been some close calls in terms of things that are kind of moving by
Stupid
our
dial
planet.
tone. I don't
Makes
know why.
you realize how fragile we are.
Yeah, that thing just made the dial tone on you
It's had
again.
about 7 different. The planets had like 7 different sort of catastrophes happen over like what 13.8 billion years. We've actually had civilizations that have actually been wiped out that we're not even aware of. That
Yeah,
have developed, and very advanced civilizations. There are a lot of different theories around that.
that's pretty intense. Pretty creepy.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear is like
Yeah.
world destruction, asteroids hitting Earth, and giant tidal waves is my biggest fear.
There are so many ways that we could go out, and it might not even be environmental. Even in terms of an economic collapse, if there are weapons that are developing electromagnetic pulse weapons, we could be sent into the Stone Age.
Oh,
I mean,
geez,
we wouldn't
yeah.
be able to even get the gas out of the pumps in gas stations because everything is, electronic and motorized. We'd be so screwed.
Oh, look at those wildfires. I mean, that's catastrophic. That was crazy. I was
We're
watching
at the
some
mercy of
videos.
Mother Nature,
Yeah, I was watching some videos on that. It was like ridiculous. It's just a big orange glow, like it was a high angle, like a map sort of thing, and I don't know.
And it
It's
can
ridiculous.
affect anybody. I mean, it's affecting celebrities, people that have millions of dollars. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same with sort of cancer too, right? George Harrison, the Beatles, died of cancer. You thought, man, if there's enough money to like treat him, he'd be okay. But no, he couldn't. He couldn't even save himself from cancer. So it's pretty scary.
Yeah. My goodness. Well, are you ready for some other Halloween 2018 BS?
Yeah, do you have some new news now? It's been a couple weeks since I heard the latest, right?
This is the first, I feel, piece of real news. I know we've got news, but this is like the first, other than Jamie Lee Curtis, and, excuse me, first of all, and some other, like, announcements. This is what I feel the first is. Okay, so it says, Halloween, the 2018 sequel coming from Blumhouse and Universal, has cast Andy Matichak as new character Allison. Allison will be the daughter of whomever Judy Greer is playing in the film. Greer is rumored to be playing daughter of Laurie Strode. Strode will, of course, be played by a returning Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay. Andy
Matichak. Look her up if you guys got time. Hasn't been in many things, and I feel like an idiot now because I don't like map these out, but I saved that to read, so I should have saved her credentials and shit. But if you guys want, just look her up, and it's Andy with an I, so it is a chick. Andy Matichak should be cast as Allison, and yeah, I mean, usually you have it figured out by now, like, oh, this is where this is going. Okay, I get it. I mean, and you do kind of get it with this, but fuck, I mean, there's 3 of them now. You got a grandma friggin' Jamie Lee Curtis. It's so funny. Remember the Activia meme, and Michael Myers has a walker, and she's like in a friggin'. That's what this Halloween is. I mean, I'm all over this new Halloween, but I just think that's funny.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking it up on my iPhone right now while I talk to Andy Matichik. That was 4 days ago to join Jamie Lee Curtis in the reboot.
Yeah. So she's gonna be.
I've never heard of her before. Oh.
So she's gonna be.
I see a picture of her. She's cute.
Oh yeah, she's pretty hot. I mean, she got a little bit of a square chin, but we could work with that.
She could be the next Batman, maybe.
We'll paint a little indent in her chin.
She has nice hair. I don't know.
She's a fire hair, right?
Well, I see now kind of like a blonde, kind of a mixed blonde. But
well, I mean, she's been in movies, so if the character has to have fucking black hair, then I guess that's what she'll have for that picture.
Well, I mean, her hair reminds me of Scout, in Rob Zombie's.
Yeah, I mean, I keep seeing Danielle Harris, man. She's kind of beat over not being cast, but I mean, how could you not understand? I guess. I mean, Jamie's not in this movie, man. Like, I don't know.
Danielle Harris, like, I like her, but she's not the greatest actor. I gotta say, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
When she was in Hatchet 2 or something, she was in Hatchet 2 and she was terrible. The original woman who was in Hatchet 1 was awesome.
You know what I think it is?
I'm going all over the place here, but Danny McBride, I'm really kind of excited about that because he seems to be a real fan. And I was watching the other night, Underworld Awakenings, I think. It was actually shot here in Vancouver at Simon Fraser University. That's
he does a lot of shit out there.
All locations familiar, right?
Yeah.
But he actually co-write it or something, and I'm like, oh my god, Danny McBride is on, the end credits.
I want to real quick go back to the Danielle Harris thing, real quick.
Yes.
I think maybe what it is, because if you look at all the interviews that she's talking about this, well, Jamie Lee Curtis this, Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she's just very upset that she never got to work with her. And, rightfully so. She's done like 4 movies and shit, but, that's like, there's other people in Halloweens that are like, yeah, they're doing another Halloween. So maybe she should carry that attitude. But at the same time, I guess her agents and all, they contacted them. And if you weren't going to put Jamie in the movie, fine. It doesn't fit your story, clearly. But maybe you could have figured out a way for her to even be a distant friggin' niece or something. Like, I don't know. You could have done something for the poor girl, I think. But I think...
There's so many possibilities.
Here's the problem, though. Here's the other problem. You put Danielle Harris in the movie, people that never seen Halloween 4 and 5 and only seen the Rob Zombie Halloweens that hate the fucking Rob Zombie Halloweens, or, or they love the Rob Zombie Halloweens, they're going to be like, why are you in this movie? Like, if they're haters...
Yeah, it could sort of taint things. It's better to go with more unknowns, I'm thinking, or somebody fresh or new.
And Halloween 2, people hated, so Danny McBride was probably like, ooh, yeah, after Halloween 2, I don't know, like... Because people are going to associate... Oh, that's...
Danielle Harris, though, in both of the Rob Zombie movies, I actually did like her in terms of, sort of the death killing scene.
Yeah, she was, the best. One of the best.
Fantastic.
Yeah. There was no doubt in her performance. It's just, these people are clowns, man. They don't associate... they do associate the movie, they just... judge the movie. They don't associate, they don't understand the fact that she's a good actress in her own right. They're just like, well, that movie was trash, so fuck her. And I've never heard anyone say, oh, it was a shitty movie, but there was great acting, because everyone always bitches about acting in horror movies, which is the dumbest shit you can do. Don't watch a horror movie and look for Oscar-worthy performances out of these people.
But I have seen some amazing performances, and I can't remember her name, but in the first Hatchet movie, the main protagonist, she was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, don't settle...
That's why Danielle Harris in Hatchet 2 sucked.
Yeah, I mean, don't settle for less, but at the same time, don't watch a movie and be like, I can't wait to see how good these actors are. It's like, I'm there to see what the fuck
Yeah.
Michael Myers is doing, and then hopefully the acting is good along with it. You know, it's very
Yeah,
rare.
and hopefully it's also how the characters are written too.
Yeah,
Hopefully you kind of care about the characters. You know, that's a lot too. The writing, the dialogue.
which is rare that you get an audience to really care about your characters. I think, and that's why I get mad when people rank on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. That was maybe one of the only, if not the only, first Halloween movie where I was like, holy shit, dude, that's deep. Because they didn't even show Danielle Harris getting murdered, and you hear her screaming and the knife going in and out, and she's literally saying, ow, like, ow, that hurts. Like, that was very deep and very sad, and a horror movie has never made me feel that way. Like,
Well, and then they follow up with Sheriff Brackett, who, don't go in the house, don't, no. And he goes in the house and he sees Annie, like, oh my God.
what did you think about that performance right then and there when he's like screaming in agony?
I loved it.
Okay, good.
I don't know, like, it just, like, it was so, it's brutal.
My buddy, like,
Everywhere.
my buddy mocks it all the time, and he makes fun of me for saying that it's a good performance, and I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was good.
I thought it was good, but also, dude, I'm a father too, so maybe it kind of sort of tapped into something for me, right? Like your child, like that's the biggest fear that a parent has, something happening to the child.
It was probably just your average Rob Zombie hatred. He'll never admit it, but
Yeah. But the thing is, with Halloween 2, I have to say, when I first saw it, I loved the first 18 or 20 minutes, the dream sequence, amazing. Then it lost me, and I hated the characters. But I've seen it a few times after. Each time I see it, I like it more, though, because I understand more of the trauma, and I hated the dialogue. I hated all the characters and what they said and what they did, but I can understand it more the more I see it, how damaged these characters are now. You know what I
right.
mean? After the first movie, they are messed up. Sheriff Brackett, Annie, like you're talking Laurie Strode, they're just messed up.
Right, and how you can't understand that Loomis would cash in on something like that. I mean, that's what people do, man. Oh, I'll give you $100,000 to write a book about that shit. Yeah, sold, man. Like, people sell out,
yeah.
dude. I mean, if you're broke and then someone offers you basically $1 million to just yap, you're gonna do it. I mean,
and that's more realistic in terms of the Loomis character, right? Because you think for Loomis to remain connected with that for so many years afterwards, there's got to be a shift. There's got to be a change.
yeah.
And he becomes a different person, right? Where maybe initially he wanted to help, wanted to make a difference, but then, he does change. And realistically, in real life, that would probably happen, right? You have somebody connected to Michael Myers for 18, 20 years or whatever. They're going to end up on these talk shows and just pushing this crap product because that's what they become about. That defined him, right?
And people always disregard the ending. I mean, in the ending, he did kind of try to help. He put himself in harm's way.
Yeah.
So
kind of redeem him,
he's like, I owe you this much, Sheriff. I'm like, what? This is kind of silly, but I mean, I liked it. Whatever. I'm kind of a sucker for a change, though, and people get pissed at me. And, like, the one thing I don't like about the Rob Zombie haters, they're like, if you dug Rob Zombie's Halloween, you're probably just, like, young and love the gore and shit. It's like, no, I'm a diehard fan of Halloween, and I liked the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. They're just a good time.
Yeah, I see it as a different take on it, that's all. Different perspective.
And I will admit, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, why'd they do this in the beginning with all, like, the overboard stuff with Brawny and all that, but above that, it was pretty dope. So I mean, I don't know, I didn't mind it.
It's not perfect, but it has a lot going for it, and I appreciate Halloween 2 the more that I see it.
Yeah, and the people that say, well, Rob Zombie, Tyler Mane was like a hulking Leatherface, like, dude, you're it's 2017. You probably aren't gonna be scared of like the 6 foot guy.
Like 6'3", 6'5", skinny. Like he was menacing, dude.
He was 6'9", and so like the original Michael was
Oh,
like 5'11" to 6 feet. So it's like,
yeah, yeah.
and
I mean, I
everyone on the
appreciate like the Warlock and stuff in H2, the original one in 1981, but
yeah,
Tyler Mane, man, when he's taking the beam and he's smashing through the ceiling, and she's upstairs, that's awesome. I love it.
yeah, exactly. He was kick ass, and unfortunately, they're not. Tyler Maine's not going to be back for this one, obviously, because
Yeah,
he's going to be too giant. It might be tough to revert back to a small Michael Myers. It might look weird on screen, but you know what the thing was? Tyler didn't really look like he looked like Michael Myers. Like you watched it and you're like, okay, this is Halloween. Oh, okay, there's Michael Myers. What Rob Zombie did was that guy that played Bob, or was it Paul? I'm tripping right now. I think it was
yeah,
Bob, the guy with the glasses and long hair. That guy,
yeah.
he's 6'4.5" or 6'5" in real life. So Rob said, you know, I just like Tyler Maine's presence. He happens to be 6'9". He's like, I just picture him as a new Michael Myers, and he's like, so I
I
put
love.
him. He put him against people that were, tall, so they'd be in scale. So it's like when you watch the movie, it looks like just regular Michael Myers. So it's like, and back in the day, in the old Halloweens, he didn't look like a giant, but like he never looked small. So
No.
I think they'll be all right either way they go.
Well, and the different ones are, like I didn't mind, I mean, Chris Durant was different because he was faster, and I liked it. He was menacing. He was scary.
I think he was the closest probably to Nick Castle. With just
Yeah, but he had sort of a speed and sort of more of an intelligence. I don't know.
And same with Brad Laree. Unfortunately, he got stuck in a movie that not many people dug, and for that reason, he didn't really get the shine he should as Michael Myers. He played a damn good Michael Myers.
No, he was good too. Yeah, he's here from Vancouver too.
Oh yeah.
He's a local boy. Yeah, hello. Yeah.
So, what do we got? We'll probably do like 40 something minutes. Oh, never mind. We're at 48. All right. So,
Hey, are we gonna talk any WWE or anything? Or?
I was, but you know what? Maybe I'll save that for I don't know. There's one thing that I kind of want to talk about that like you don't have to be knowledgeable at WWE to.
Yeah, go for it.
So this guy, he's like kind of an up and comer in WWE.
Yeah.
Look up. I was gonna say look it up, but it's just so we can read.
No, I can. Yeah.
No. So this guy, his name's Rich Swann, and he's like in the lower division. But this he's brand new, and he's about to be making a lot of money. And they're about to like push this guy, and he just got into like a domestic violence deal, and that's like the one thing they don't put up with. It's like,
it said he's being charged with kidnapping, false imprisonment, and stuff.
now what does that mean? How does he get charged with false imprisonment?
I don't know. That was 12 hours ago. I'm just looking it up now. WWE suspends Rich Swann after being charged for kidnapping, false imprisonment.
Yeah.
And arrested in Florida. But with that, that's it.
That's crazy, man. So it's like, dude, you're in WWE, you're about to be making millions or like close to it. Why the hell would you like assault your girlfriend? The one thing they tell you guys not to do. I guess he had her in a headlock and shit.
Got to be the steroids or something, man. I don't know. Crazy.
Well, they have a, believe it or not, people are going to be like, yeah, you're marking out, just sticking up for him. But they have a very good wellness policy ever since the Chris Benoit stuff. And Rich Swann's not like a huge guy, so I don't know.
No, I looked at pictures of him. Like, he's pretty kind of like, he's muscular, but he's kind of like almost like an ectomorph. Like he's.
I think he was a dancer or something, but I know, I've heard that he was like, because he plays a very nice guy, but it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe he's a fucking gangster.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking up stuff right now online, but he's quote unquote suspended indefinitely following the arrest on suspicion. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, he'll probably be gone, man, because WWE they've been doing a lot of anti-bullying in the past years.
They don't want to deal with this stuff, right?
Jeff, you're gonna like this, man, because you know how you're all about the equalness for women and stuff. Not
for
equalness
women
for women,
or for men.
for men. I'm sorry, but equality, like
No,
you know where I'm getting at though. You're for the equality. Like if the women say it should be one way, then they shouldn't be hypocrite type stuff.
Absolutely.
Check this out, bro. Listen to this. You don't have to be like knowledgeable on WWE to dig this. So recently, they have this little pipsqueak guy, right? He's
Yep.
fired now. They fired him. They embarrassed him. They beat his ass one night and fired him. Whatever. But he's like a little guy, and bro, they haven't done opposite sex violence in years because it hurt Linda McMahon's campaign, and they were like, hey, you let women get beat and stuff. We're not like whatever. So ever since then, they haven't done it. Well, they're kind of trying to trickle into it now. They had a bunch of girls just jump this guy and like beat the shit out of him, and
Oh wow.
he had a match with one girl, like, and she beat him. It's like, let me ask you something. Can we do Kane versus Sasha Banks next week now?
Let's do it.
Absolutely not, because you know what I mean. That's like he
Yeah.
would destroy her, and it's like, well, you want to let this guy. You're only doing this because he's smaller than her and she can beat him. If he was bigger than her and she couldn't beat him, you would never put those two together. So either go full with it or don't. And I don't want to see women get their ass kicked, but it's entertainment. It's like watching a movie. You want to see the bad girl get her ass kicked. And if these women can take it, then that's great. They're professionals. They're never going to be forced into a situation where they have to get slammed and they didn't practice it or they didn't, agree to it. They can take it. These ladies are tough, dude. So, I think if they're going to bring it back, then they should. If they're going to ditch it, then they should just ditch it again, because doing shit like that is so annoying. Because, again, you would never have Kane versus Sasha Banks or something like that, because you'd be horrified right when his music hit.
Dude, I'm just thinking of the story that you told me yesterday about you. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but
The bad story?
the spearheading, yeah. Oh, you have to tell that story in a future podcast. That's all I'm saying.
And if we get any comments on this podcast, it's going to be, oh, what is that story? That's all we want to know now.
Send them my email, I'll deal with it.
That's all we want to know now. But another dude, I don't know, WWE's just weird, but anyways, dude, you got any current events?
They try different things, right? Why not, right? But
Yeah.
I think they are like maybe a bit more cautious in certain areas just because of past stuff, right?
So we got any dude. I was going to say we got any current events. I think we do. Bro, you posted that. You posted that lady doing the sign language.
Oh my gosh.
The fake.
How crazy is that?
Fucking, you didn't ever practice a real, tell me what's up, how am I doing real quick in sign language before I hire you for a jury.
That is like such a Leonardo DiCaprio, catch me if you can thing.
Yo.
Jobs and they're not even qualified,
Dude, the funniest fucking part is I guess she was, excuse me, hold on a second. The funniest part is I guess it was gibberish, but it was actual words. So she was sitting there being like, me too, from House Go, come here.
Oh yeah, dude.
Saying random shit.
Language, and I think after level 1 you learn about 300 words. I could probably piece stuff together and make it look good, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's hilarious.
I thought she was doing one of those new hip-hop dances. She looked like a damn fool.
Nice.
And the place that, whatever, they're like, we're not going to hire her back. It's like, well, no shit.
No shit. That's what I posted. No shit. Really?
What do we got for...
Captain Obvious. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, if you do hire her back, what are you going to do? Make her go through, a skills course? I mean, you could come back, but you got to go take some fucking sign language courses.
We'll just find somebody else that actually took training. A couple of years at least of training in college,
But how bad...
I've known people that do that, right? They go to college for a couple of years to become interpreters, right? How'd she get this job?
That's what I'm saying to the interviewees. It's like, or not the interviewees, the guys that are interviewing her. You didn't fucking ask her to practice one fucking thing real quick? Even when you get hired on the fire department, they put you through a little quick scenario. It you're in this situation, what would you do? They didn't fucking ask her, hey, can you tell me, hey, how's it going real quick? And, I mean, maybe she knew a select few things, and they're like, all right, you're hired. We don't got time to friggin' sift through a bunch of interpreters. But where did she get the
Yeah, I don't know
credentials?
how
Like,
she got through that. That amazes me, dude.
oh, man. Jesus.
But it sort of gives me hope that I could maybe get some kind of really kick-ass job without actually being fully qualified. And I mean, I've done that in the past. After I got out of university, I applied to be a counselor at like Jenny Craig or something.
Oh,
right?
Jesus,
But,
yeah.
problem is, I do like curvy women, so I'd probably tell all these women, no, babe, you're fine the way you are. You know,
Yeah.
I'd probably lose business, right? But
Listen, sweetheart, you're going to sneak in a cupcake here and there.
yeah, you look fine to me, girl.
Do we got any current events? Maybe I
I
could...
don't know. I haven't been watching the news. Right now I'm watching Rambo, the extended cut on TV. I just PVR'd The Walking Dead. I'll watch that stuff later. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about The Walking Dead? It's been pretty weak, I find, the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I actually am like, I just can't, I can't get into that show for some reason. I never watched it, really.
Up until a couple years ago, when with my separation and stuff, I stopped watching it religiously on Sunday nights. But I mean, I have them on Blu-ray up to season 6.
Right.
7 and 8, I just get into. I've watched them, but it just doesn't seem the same. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
I do like Negan though, man. The guy's fascinating.
Yeah, it seems to be everyone's favorite.
It's like Heath Ledger, man, as the Joker. Every scene that Heath Ledger was in The Dark Knight, he just stole those scenes. I love every scene.
Spoke with everyone.
God. But yeah, but Negan, gosh, when I saw Justice League, he's in Rampage, based on the video game from the 1980s, where you have like a King Kong character, Godzilla character. It's such a strong character, I guess.
Typecast, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Let me go over to, give me a second here. This thing's, dude, ugh. You know, in The Office, when they, is it The Office or Office Space? I can't remember which it is, what the movie is.
You're talking about the stuff with Dave Carell?
No, the movie. So annoying, bro. I can't, like, here, hold on a second. Let's see if
Because, yeah, you've been on a desktop for years, right? Do you have a laptop at all?
No, I love desktops so much.
Oh, dude, because that really ties you to the computer. Like, you just, like, check into Facebook and stay connected, right?
Yeah. What is this? Oh, okay. That was weird.
Now, do you stay connected on your phone? Are you an Android or iPhone guy? Like, where are you at?
I have an Android, and it's not the greatest. I don't even do, like, Wi-Fi. I'm on, like, 4G. I'm, like, way behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I don't do much on the phones. I can't, I don't know. I don't know, I like taking things apart and shit, so, like, if I want to put a new whatever chip in, or like, you can't do that with the Apple stuff, so and that doesn't flip, so, like, I like to keep it just basic.
Yeah, I bought my dad. My dad is 93, so when he was 91 years old, I bought him a tablet, and it runs on Android. I still can't get used to that thing, though. Like, but they have different operating systems, though. They have, like, like Ice Cream Sundae and Jelly Bean and stuff like that. Jelly Donut. I don't know what they're up to now.
Oh, dude, I hate to do this, but it's been an hour.
Yes.
We have talked a great talk for an hour, and I think it was a great episode. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I did too. It's been a lot of fun, Alex.
Oh, dude, it's always a great time with you, and we'll try to figure something out.
We have to get back and we have to do the time chat thing.
Yes.
With a bunch of us. We did that about 3 years ago, maybe. Maybe it's 4 years. I don't know, but it was fun. Like on the weekends and stuff like that. A bunch of us like checking in. It was crazy. It was fun.
Yeah, we'll throw a post in the group or something, but I definitely appreciate you coming back on. Jeff's more like my other host. We don't really, I don't know. I don't know. Well, again, I didn't really look for guests. I knew that I'd probably just call Jeff and, we'd shoot the shit because we always talk anyway, so might as well do it on the podcast, and you guys could get to know us a little better for now. And we'll have our first celebrity guest in 2 weeks, so
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I thank you for being on.
Well, thanks for having me, Alex.
Yeah, and I don't know if you want to do a real plug real quick where they can find you. I mean,
Well, you can find me on Facebook as Jeffrey Mickey. I have a beard. I don't know.
again, yeah, the beard. That's the tagline.
Headless Asylum Studios. I have a page on Facebook. It's not very active, but you can find me on Instagram, Headless Asylum Studios.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Mickey on Instagram. Follow me. Find out what's happening in my life. Jeffrey Mickey, I post more stuff about my boring life than Headless Asylum, but I hope to get back into the mask making soon. Hopefully in the spring. That's what I'm hoping. So, yeah.
All right, man. Everybody, things are heating the F up. I'm not bullshitting. This isn't a what if or maybe. This is going down. I just haven't ironed out the details yet. I'm still getting the excitement out. So, everybody, I'll make the announcement soon, probably next week on the show. So, everybody, thank you for listening. This has been 45 Lampkin Lane. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Thank you. See ya.